Okay, compositionally wise, you have the Pocket of the Mercy who can be there to support you. You're running kind of a pokier comp. You have a Hog, Widow. The Moira, I mean, this comp, like, I don't want to read too much into it, but chances are that, you know, if you're not getting healed by your Mercy, you're not going to get much help. I don't know, it's not a lot to say. It's okay. All is forgiven. I mean, that does absolutely nothing. Nice shot. Like, here's the thing with Venomine. If you're not going to think about using it, just don't use it. I would rather sit here and yell at you for not using your Venomine than for you to just, like, do it terribly. Because it's, like, it takes away from your focus on shooting. And if anything, it also gives away your position. Just, if you're not going to put effort in your Venomine, which you should be, then just don't use it. You know what I'm saying? Don't come to me with your half-butt Venomine crap heaps. Nice shot. You're an idiot. You're shooting. What are you shooting? So they have an Ashe. So this is a good, like, Widow's going to be good into this. They don't have any mobility. The only thing that you really need to worry about are these two heroes. Okay? Really, these two heroes. In other words, where's the Ashe so I don't get too tapped? And make sure the Hog's not flanking. That's pretty much all you have to worry about. And obviously, you counter Ashe. Are you going to do anything, or are you just going to sit here? Like, you could even go for a grapple shot here. Please do something. Widowmakers are terrible at this. They're like the Annas of DPS. Because they'll, like, find a good spot that they saw and, like, I don't know, somebody play it, and then they'll just sit there. And the fight will be, like, happening over here, and they're like, oh, I got my spot. My team's not playing around me. I'm like, move your ugly bottom. Back out, back out, back out, back out, back out. Okay. Up we go. A little bit risky, but no big deal. No comments on the aim. I would immediately focus the Immortality Field. Yep. Okay, so you... Nice. Uh-oh. Get him. Nice. Not a whole lot to say here. The only thing I would say is once Ashe has locked you down and she has something like a shield or a cover to play run, you do want to drop and adjust your position. Kind of like what you did in the earlier high ground. Okay, this is bad. Kind of like what you did in the earlier high ground where you dropped if the Ashe took a couple pot shots at you. That was almost too conservative, but you had the right idea. To where you don't want to stay in the same spot, especially if where you're shooting at, the Ashe has the advantage because she has a shield. Like the rule of snipers, and really anybody, any duel that you take at Overwatch should never be even. At least the duel that you go after and take. You should always look to fight dirty. Zen, play near health back. Don't let Tracer get the drop on you. You know, Sombra, make sure, like, wait for the Zen to, like, take some chip damage or something like that. Spawn camp. You know, with Widowmaker, don't fight if they have a shield and you don't. You know what I'm saying? Or they're being pocketed and you are. Or something along those lines. Like, you want to fight dirty because it's not so much fighting dirty, it's just fighting smart. Okay, it's a team game. It's not a one-on-one game. So you don't have, there's no ego boost from, you know, winning that one-on-one. It's about who uses their team's resources the best. It's like you taking the duel when your Winston is jumping, or your team, or your Ryan shatters, and now everyone's looking at your Ryan, and so then you look for the duel. That's the kind of thing that you want to be thinking about. It's especially important with Widow because Widow is a hero that kind of takes a lot of one-on-one fights, but that aren't really one-on-one fights. They look like one-on-one fights, but they're not one-on-one fights. They need a lot of support that's not always super obvious. For example, right here, you're popping infra-sight. Now, chat, infra-sight is a huge boost to your effectiveness. It's like a cheat code, right? It's a cheat code. It's your NOS. It's your nitro boost to your race car. It's like it makes you that much more effective because you have all the information you need. One aspect of the Widowmaker duel or the Widowmaker fight is knowing where the enemies are and where their heads are. That aspect is completely gone now. So it's a huge boost. But the question is what's the problem with this? What's the problem with this infra boost, guys, or with this infra-sight? Holy cow! What's the problem with this infra-sight, chat? What's the problem? Think about what I just said. It's a huge boost to your gameplay capabilities, but what's the problem with it? Fights one, right? You don't need it, okay? This is the equivalent of like taking a 5-hour energy at like 10 o'clock in the morning. You don't need it. You're already awake and you're already up and you're already like kind of relatively alert, you know? You don't need this boost. You need to be using this when you need the advantage. You're already up, so now you're just adding insult to injury. And the problem with that is it's not. You can save this. You can save this like timeouts in an American football game for the second quarter. If the first quarter is easy, you don't need your timeouts. It's fine. Save them for the second quarter, right? Right now, you're kicking them while they're already down. The problem is that no matter how bad the enemy team is, they're going to get up because respawn is right down the road. So this isn't useful, right? You didn't need this. I mean, worst case scenario, I could potentially justify you popping it now, once you see the Widow swap and you actively taking a duel. But in all actuality, you don't even really need to take this duel. Like, the enemy team isn't doing anything right now. They're sitting in spawn. Sorry, they don't know anything for the fall. Like, you don't have to do anything until they force a fight on your team, maybe at the choke or right before, right? Use it when you need it, right? Like, you take your caffeine right before you work out, not when you're about to go to bed. You already know where they are. Yes, exactly, Babawa. That's like another good thing. Like, you want information when there's like actual chances of flanks and stuff. They're all clumped right there. There wasn't any threat, so you didn't need that information. It's good. Again, you take that duel when you have the advantage. We could talk about how peeking the same sightline twice in a row might have been a little bit risky, but the general idea is that you took a duel when you had the advantage, so I'm not going to give you a hard time over it. Okay, so now you need to get out. And see, this is the problem. The rest of the infra-sight is now wasted because the enemy team is waiting to regroup anyway, and you can't really push this. So now you have, you know, a good half of your infra-sight that's useless. Whereas if they were starting to push the choke, you pop infra-sight, then they have to make a really difficult decision of, do we back up and reset, or do we just push through it and hope the Widow misses the shots? And knowing you, you probably aren't going to miss many shots. So your timing there was poor. This is like this right here. Like, yeah, you have infra-sight, or you have the Venom Mine information, whatever, but this is still not a fair fight. Don't take this fight. If this is further away and you're outside of his hook range, fine, go for it. At the very least, he'll have to walk forward a bunch before he's able to look for it. But he's gonna kill you here. He's gonna kill you. Like, you just assumed that he would miss his hook, and he did, but, you know, Diamond Roadhogs are gonna miss that hook less often. Master Roadhogs are gonna miss that hook even less often. GM Roadhogs will barely miss that hook ever. You know what I'm saying? And you want to avoid making mistakes like that. You want to not ever, don't even give the enemy team the opportunity to make a play. Okay? That was poor. And you, again, and look at that. You just dodged the signal too. Complete luck. Twice in a row. Okay? Now, again, we talked about threats here. What does he need to be thinking about right now, chat? What does he need to be thinking about right now? Yeah, the Widow. Again, the threat. What's your threat? We started talking more about this the last couple of weeks because it's something that I've been picking up on. It's tracking threats, because your threats are the things that want to stop you from doing what you want to do. A hog flanking will stop you doing for what you want to do. A Widowmaker will stop you doing from what you want to do. Batiste, not really. Moira, not really. Not inconveniencing, but actually directly threatening to kill you. And those are the only two that can. Holy cow, there's actually a cat in the window. Check it out, chat. Check it out. There's a cat. I've never seen that. Okay. So, right now would even be the time where flanking would be acceptable. You could go through this little, like, not even a hard flank, just like here. You could hard flank around this way. You need to be ready for this peak right here. Start listening and looking for Widow shots. Surprised you didn't scope for that shot, because that's one shot kill. You know what? You know what? I'm not even mad. Because you actually made an attempt to fight dirty here. You actually tried to jiggle peek this. You tried to dodge it, and he caught you. It was a good hook. So, I would rather you die like that than what you almost happened earlier. I'll cut you some slack. But just this once. Okay, again, chat. What is good about taking this peek right here? Why is taking this peek here good? I want you to think about the context of fighting dirty. Fighting with an advantage. What is the advantage here that Wade X or whatever is using? I look like a delinquent with that toothpick? That's implying that I don't look like a delinquent without it. I'm flattered, but yeah, I highly doubt that's the case. Mentos Fruit Core nailed it. It's the first time that sentence has ever left my lips, and probably the last time it has ever left my lips. Yes, he has no idea where you are. Now, normally I don't like you looking to take duels without your team there, because there's nothing to distract the enemy Widow. There's no pressure on her whatsoever. There's no pressure on her tanks. She can get fully supported. But she has no idea where you are, and you know exactly where she is. This is where advantages come into play, right? So this is fine. Now, I wouldn't re-peek this if you miss a couple shots, but you get the idea. Like right now, don't peek, because she's gonna get Sigma Shield, and you're not. Woo! Scary. Nice. Like, at that point, it was fine to take the duel because you had a mercy pocket and your team was alive. So. And you were also pre-scoped. She was not. So that's an advantage as well. Lots of little advantages. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, again, that Widow's back, so be very cautious. I'm not a fan of that minimum. Okay, because now Widow's gonna like peek here, or is she gonna peek here? Is she gonna peek here? Is she gonna peek here? Like, you don't know, do you? And that's where she has the advantage. So you want to like neutralize the advantage by adjusting your positioning here. You could even drop to low ground. You could peek this door here. Lots of things you can do. This is too early. A couple seconds too early. Okay. Do it, you coward. What is this boy doing? What is she doing? What is she doing? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Look at her. Yeah, first off, why was your crosshair here and not here? Because you had a window. You did. You had a window. 100% had a window to headshot her before she did anything. Look at her. What a madman. Like right here. Put your crosshair right here. Bang. Could have got her. Anyway, unfortunate. I guess you didn't realize you didn't have a pocket anymore and you ate a Junkrat grenade, so a little bit unlucky. Your infra-sights is too early. Your Venomine placement is sloppy. We're keeping things simple today. I'm gonna call you a furry at a reptile show because I mentioned you preferred cats. Oh, that's a kingpin insult. There are some insults that you can't just let go by. Good shot. Again, this is another one of those situations where you're playing an advantage even though it's not a duel, right? You play the advantage because this Moira is not thinking about defending against Widow, so the shots are easier. It's like when you're flanking as Tracer, and you flank from the side, and they're like, the Zen's like 80-80, right? But when you're on the side, there's no 80-80, because he's not moving forward and backwards, so you just catch completely off guard. You find an advantage based off of their unawareness, right? So. Wow, nice. Again, she had no idea you were there. Or she shouldn't have. That was a good shot. No shame in losing that. Just SMG. Again, SMG. Just don't. I mean, I'm not gonna give you a hard time, but I would have preferred you to fight dirty there. These hairless cats? Ha! I prefer hairless cats. They're absolutely delicious. Nice. I really like your crits on tanks too. A lot of Widows get really sloppy with their tank shots, and like, it is so important that you critical hit tanks. That like actually makes your damage impactful when you're not getting hits or picks. Nice, nice. What if headshot there would have been awesome? This is okay. So this is poorly done. I don't mind the idea because it's unexpected. You're probably not in a position to get pushed, which is okay, but I don't like you grappling over this. This is bad. So if you have to grapple over this to get a shot, it's not worth it because this is now like there's like a very tenuous line between overextension and aggressive play. Aggressive, I say. Aggressive. And you cross the line. This is now like too many little drops in the penny. You broke the water tension. You broke the tension between a good play and aggressive play, and this is a bad play. KP, thank you for the follow. Like again here though, like infra-sight. I don't like this because I don't want you here taking the duel anyway. This is fine timing in terms of like if this was a 100% isolated incident and it was just you and Widow, but it's not. It's you, Widow, and the entire enemy team about 5 feet away from you, and your Hog is gonna die. He went into the small room like a complete jackass, and he's expecting not to die. Like, you need to get out of here. So popping infra-sights here is again a feed because you're not looking to take a fight here. You should not even be here now. Like, you should be gone. And you're gonna get killed. Wow. This is my pretend shock face. What? Caught in Sigma ult? No way. Now you're being pocketed your brains out, but that's like complete luck and well played by your supports. You had zero, like, you are the equivalent of like a 5-year-old walking in the middle of the street and your dad doing like a diving roll and grabbing and throwing you into the grass and then taking the blow and having both his legs, you know, blown off. That was a little bit violent, but you get the idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's you're like, you had no idea that what you were doing was wrong, but your entire team is like working their butt cheeks off, sweating just to keep you alive. You're completely clueless, completely oblivious to the fact that you got carried so hard. But yeah, he's way overextended. And like that is ultimately the problem there. Like, what kind of shot is that? There's a reason why you're plat, man. It has nothing to do with your aim. You're one of those few players, like, everybody always goes, oh yeah, there's some plats that have, like, master's level aim. No, there's not. There are very, very few plats that actually have master levels aim, and have, like, the bad positioning. I've seen probably 2 people ever that have, like, high diamond, low master's level aim, and are still high plat. The rest of them are they're just plat. You know, there are plats with better aim, plats with worse aim, but they're still plat. You are one of the few people that I've seen that, have, at least in this game, have legitimately, like, high diamond level aim, just terrible level positioning. I don't know if this was a good game for you, but this doesn't look like normal Plat Widow gameplay, at least in terms of aim. It's fine. Good by the way, nice Venomine. Cannot believe that you're about to lose this, so. Okay, we're good. Wait, you guys talking about Minnie from OCE? Big fan. Not really a big fan. I know of Minnie. I like Minnie. I don't know her well. I don't want to overuse the big fan term. Unless for memeing, in which case it's perfectly acceptable. Where's the Doomfist? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. Because now they're not on Widow, they're on Doomfist. He's really the only threat we have, so we need to be thinking about where he is. I love these crits on tanks, dude. Love them. Huge fan. Ah! Come on! Thank you. I'm glad you didn't take another shot there. Just SMG. Fight dirty. Where's the Doom? Where's the Doom? Nice. By the way, that other infra-sight was much better. So we're kind of botting out here. And that's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Positioning there was actually fine. You hard flanked. The only thing I would have said is perhaps instead of playing Mega, I would have played... come on, sucker. Played this way, that doorway, instead. Because you got pressure this way, and then you play this way, but you're also in a safe path so that you can grapple back to your team. You have a better corner to play around, and you don't get isolated. Like, it would have been very easy for them to come after you here, but no big complaints. Overall, you played the last couple of minutes pretty well. The infra-sight timing was better, but better. No, I do like the crits and tanks. That's something that I look for in good Widows, is people that actually can hit critical hits on tanks. Because, especially in dive, being able to critical hit a tank is crucial. Like, if you critical hit a Winston as he's diving, or before he dives, you just completely shut them down. Or a Diva. Really important. Why does this Widow have better aim than you? You're still a better player. That's all that matters. People put way too much emphasis on good aim. Having good positioning makes you a better player than people with good aim. Think of it that way. Like, there are people, probably, in GM now, that I have better aim. But they're better than me, because their positioning and game sense in-game is better than mine. So, you're an idiot, by the way. You're an absolute jackass. Look at you. There's a Doomfist and a Hog pushing up here. There's nothing stopping the Doomfist from just killing you right now. You should not be this greedy with space. Especially considering you have not just the Hog, but also the Doomfist. The Doomfist can be very greedy with his positioning. He's mobile. He can come after and punish you. You should not be here. This is the equivalent of what you did on the start of second. Should not be here. You're playing with fire. There's nothing wrong with just sitting and passively waiting until your tanks can actually do something. This is going to be tough, and again, it's going to require you to, once again, ask the question of where's Doomfist, because wherever the Doomfist is, that's the sight line that you can't contest. So you have a couple of options here. You have here, you have like here-ish, or you have a top left, which is a bit greedier. But you see the Doomfist go up there, so you can no longer go up there. However, if the Doomfist is up there, that means he's not here, which means that this is wide open. That's why it's important to ask yourself, where's your threat? Not just so that you can survive, but so that you know where to position yourself, right? Very simple. Very good. Okay, now the Doomfist is no longer there. You can either shoot shield, which is fine, because they only have the one shield. Watch the top left. Okay, well, at least you predicted it correctly. Infra-sight here is not really necessary. Let me look at this again. I'm gonna look at this infra-sight. Yeah, so like, this infra-sight is once again poor because the enemy team is right in front of you and the Junkrat just walked out in the open. The Doomfist, dead. Junkrat, right here. The rest of the enemy team, right in front of you. Why are you infra-sighting this? If anything, this is a bad strategic, like a mechanical and a strategic play, because you might actually miss on killing this Junkrat because you took the time to press Q instead of just shooting or SMGing this guy down. Like, you're wasting valuable time to get a kill for an infra-sight on information that you already know. Right? Especially considering infra-sight is like less and less useful against tanks, because tanks are more and more obvious with their positioning. So you don't even have a Genji or Tracer that you have to track. There's nobody. Doom is in spawn. Junkrat is right there. Who are you popping this infra-sight for? You have 37 seconds. Clean up this fight and then pop infra-sight to prevent them from, from coming back. Again, questionable, really questionable infra-sight. Like, look at what you're shooting right now. Nothing that you're shooting right now, none of what you're doing right now benefits at all from infra-sight. This benefits from infra-sight, but this could have been you. But look at this. Your infra-sight is like 1/3 left, or a little bit less than half left. You could have shot the Junkrat, done this, see the Doomfist, and popped infra-sight now, and you would have half the duration. Because remember, when you're popping infra-sight, it's not just that, oh, I'm choosing to use it now. You're choosing to not use it later, right? So by popping it late, you're choosing to not have infra-sight at a later moment where it might be more important. Ooh, that was ugly. That Doomfist in you just completely looked like you were just extended to bronze level. He's running into a wall and you're standing whiffing on a perfectly still Doomfist. Don't panic, don't panic. You could just SMG her, honestly. There's no, if you have a pocket, don't panic, just SMG. There's no reason to rush, no reason to get concerned. Positioning here is fine. I would be a little bit cautious of that Batiste ult, so be very receptive to damage you take. That Venomine's a little late. Good. This is plus A++. This is some of the best work that you've done. And like, it sounds like a really basic thing to do, but you see the Doomfist flanking around, you do not forget about him, you divert all your attention to him. Now, what I would have done a little bit better is the second you see this, I would have already started to grapple behind you. Not this. Not that. Not that. Grapple the high ground. You need to move. He's coming after you. Yeah. Okay. One thing you can do with the Doomfist ult, guys, is walk in one direction for a second or so, and then quickly revert directions that you're walking. Quickly 180. It works consistently. Like, you'll get it, like, 20-30% of the time, you will dodge more Doomfist ults than you would if you didn't. Okay. For infra-sight, is the enemy psychology deterrent a huge part relative to actually being able to see through walls? Well, you want to use it, like, the psychology, the one psychology thing that I would exploit with infra-sight is the fact that it discourages the enemy team from pushing. So what you do is you wait until the enemy team is like ready to push or starting to push, and then you pop it. And what that does is it puts them in a dilemma. Kind of we talked about earlier of like, do we reset or do we commit? And what happens is very often teams aren't like 100% all on board with the same decision, right? It's the same thing of like when you're Tracer and you're on the flanking on the backline shooting the Zen. Does the Zen get peeled or does he get ignored and we push anyway? Like what, and then what happens is you get a split. Half the team comes and helps the Zen, half the team pushes forward, and then that's where you win the fight. So it's the same thing with infra-sight. You want to make them make a difficult decision, but you don't make them make a difficult decision if you wait until they've already jumped on top of you to pop infra-sight, or you pop infra-sight while they're in spawn. They don't have a decision to make. The decision's already been made for them. And that's part of the, like the battle combat psychology that you're missing out on. So yeah, good aim. Infra-sight usage is a bit suspect, for sure. And you are AFK. That is also suspect. Again, who are your threats? Doomfist is your threat. Hog is your threat. This is good. This is good. You stay behind. You create a crossfire with your TP. And again, you don't have to get kills here. You just have to kind of exist. Yeah. You don't have to get kills here. You just have to exist. What happens? Hog triggers Venomine, and instead of respecting the Hog, you stand here and you scope. As if, like, shooting the Hog would make any difference. Like, you were smart because you popped the Venomine, right? You popped the Venomine because you anticipated the Moira to come after you. But being smart with your cooldown isn't good enough. You have to be smart with everything. Like, everything. You have to anticipate that this is what they're going to try and do. So you either do one of two things. You either go for a crazy greedy kill, which you did and you die, which I don't like, or you back off and make sure that they're not chasing after you, or make it really difficult to chase after you, right? And then once you see that they're not doing that, then you reposition yourself, right? It's the same thing as like, you prod the beast, okay? You're trying to like steal gold coins from underneath the dragon, right? You pull a gold coin and you check. Is the dragon waking up? If so, you get out of dodge. If the dragon doesn't wake up, you take another gold coin. You take another gold coin. We got some Hobbit references going here, right? Not exactly, but close enough, right? And you see how much you can greed, but every single gold coin you take, you understand that there is a very high chance that somebody's gonna turn around and come after you, and you got to get out as fast as you can. So it's like your fingers on the trigger. Am I ready to run away? Am I ready to shift? You got to be ready for that. Like, when you're doing this right now, you better be ready at any second. The second you see red, you just turn and run. You run as fast as you can. Even if they just pretend and then they ignore you. That's okay. They still took effort into you. That's good. That's okay. Right? They're still thinking about you. They're still distracted. Right? Like right now, I would be like, ooh, I'm out. But you're too slow. You're too slow. And remember, we talked about this yesterday. The first victory to quote-unquote faster reaction speeds, the half of it is just expecting it to happen. Okay? Expecting it to happen. If you are flanking and they are running heroes that could potentially be close enough to get to you, you need to assume that they're going to come after you. And if you're wrong, well, that's fine. You're still going to hit shots. If you're right, you survive. Nice shot. Like right now, you need to be expecting that hog to come after you. Get ready, get ready, get ready. You might have to back out any second. Like, that's the kind of stuff that needs to go in the back of your mind, especially when you're on a flank and you're by yourself. You name all your animals after world leaders? Yeah. Again, where's the doom? That question has to be answered if you're going to do your job properly. You put the same level of priority into going into widow duels of where's the widow. You understand that the widow is what's going to kill you and prevent you from killing the rest of her team. So the same thing is with Doomfist and Tracer and Sombra and Genji and heroes like that that can actually access you or directly duel you. So this is a Widowmaker. If this is a Genji, it's also a Widowmaker. If that's a Tracer, it's also a Widowmaker. Okay? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That needs to, the same effort that you put in taking a Widow duel needs to be the same effort putting with the Doomfist duel. And by the way, this doesn't just go for Widowmakers. This goes for Zens and Anas and Mercies and things like that. Where's the Doomfist? Where's the Sombra? Where's the Tracer? It is literally a Widow duel. In terms of you better know where they are at all times. You better have perfect positioning and you be ready to blow their head off at any second. Okay? You got caught with your pants down. You had no counterplay because you had no awareness. I would say a good 3/4 of deaths to Doomfist that quote-unquote have no counterplay are avoidable if you had woke up. Because Tracer could have one-clipped you at that situation. Sombra could have one-clipped you. Genji could have one-shot you. So right now, where's the hog? Where's the Doom? The only heroes that can bother you, and you have the memory of a goldfish. So, that's kind of what we're talking about. I think that's going to be, we'll see how you do with your infra-sight, and then we're going to call it. Let's see when you pop your infra-sight. Right as the fight starts. Again, no. I don't like it. I don't like it simply because it's just a tad early, okay? Again, it's the same thing with attack. You want to be like committed to a push and then you pop sight, so then the enemy team goes like, oh shoot, I guess we have to stop them now. Or no, we back up, we kite it, and if they kite it, you guys get to push the cart for a long time. Like right now, just a tad early. Just a couple seconds early. And I say that because what do you know about the enemy team? This is what you know about the enemy team, right? That's very important. Okay, 1324, 1325, 1326. She is spawned now. She is walking out from spawn, and now you pop in for sight. They don't want to take this fight now. They want to take this fight now, right? This is when you pop in for sights, and look how much of it has already been used before the Moira is there. Okay, so for you, infra sight, right at fight starts, infra sight timing. Now, obviously, it's a little bit more difficult on defense because you kind of have to predict, but you can read body language. Timing. Okay. If I had to add a second thing, it'd be awareness of your threats. But remember, we're trying to really keep things simple. Big impact, small adjustments, big improvements. That's what my MMA instructor used to say. And so, infra-sight timing. This isn't going to win you game after game after game, but it's going to win 5-10% more of your games because of this. And that's all that matters. That's all you need. That's all you need. And then when this gets better, then we can start talking about your Venomine placement. We can start talking about your positioning more in depth. We can start talking about things like that. Okay?